Good morning everyone. In the previous module, I explained you the principle of division of work and the principle of authority and responsibility. In this module, we learn about the principle of discipline and the principle of unity of command. So let's start with the principle of discipline with the help of this small animation. Let's watch together.
You know what? This month, we were able to produce 30,000 additional units to meet our export targets. This will help us to increase our profits considerably. And you know what? The credit goes to our committed, devoted, and disciplined workers. So, gentlemen, now is the time to fulfill our promise of paying bonus to our workers. Because not only have we achieved the targets, but we have also produced additional units this month.
To honor his commitment, the chairman has declared bonus for the workers. His conduct refers to discipline. Discipline means following the organizational rules and employment agreement. It necessitates honoring one's commitments without prejudice towards one another.
So, this was the principle of discipline explained with the help of an animation. Here what you need to remember that following the principle of discipline, 2 points are to be considered. One is discipline by following the rules of the enterprise, and second, discipline means following the employment contract which is between the employee and the employer on the basis of which he was appointed. So, 2 points to be remembered. One is follow the discipline through following the rules of the enterprise and follow the employment contract signed between the employee and the employer. As per this principle of discipline, essentiality of discipline, obedience of organizations, rule and employment agreement for successful work performance. So both the ways discipline is to be followed, obedience towards the organizational rules as a whole and obedience towards the employment contract that was individually signed at the time of appointment between the employee and the employer. It also focuses on establishment of discipline in workplace with the proper supervision at all the levels and clear explanation of rules. All the levels means discipline at every level, top level, middle level and bottom level management, that is lower level management. It also focuses on implementation of system of reward. In case due to discipline the profits are achieved, rewards should be given to the employees, and in case of non-obedience of the rules, then punishment could also be given. So this principle of discipline focuses on obedience of rules of the enterprise and obedience of the employment contract. Secondly, for positive effects, for positive rewards should be given, and for negativities punishment should be given. So implementation of discipline through reward and punishment both are compulsory. Positive effects of following the principle of discipline: it helps in improving the efficiency of employees, it improves the working environment of business, and moreover it systematizes the flow of work because everything is obediently done. But what are the consequences of its violation? Chaos and confusion may be created among the employees and there may be wastage of resources. Secondly, what are the adverse effects? Too much of discipline may delay the performance of activities in the enterprise. So this is the principle of discipline. Remember, following the rules of the overall enterprise, following the rules given in the employment contract. Rewards should also be given and equally punishment should also be given. This is the principle of discipline. Next is the principle of unity of command. Let's understand again with the help of small animation.
The purchase officer of ABC Limited is facing shortage of raw material. He approaches the production manager and accounts manager to inquire about the supplier.
My raw material
from X Limited. Their quality is very good.
No. I think you should buy from Y Limited. Their rates are very reasonable.
Purchase officer was in dilemma about whom to follow and whom not to follow. So he chose easy alternate to avoid his responsibilities.
Oh my god, I'm so confused. I don't know whom shall I follow. I think I'll better go for a leave. Let them place order themselves.
They all gave a lot of importance to the principle of unity of command, as he felt that if this principle is violated, authority is undermined, discipline is in jeopardy, order disturbed, and stability threatened.
So this is the principle of unity of command. Simply we can say every subordinate should be given orders by one single boss. There should be no confusion. When we were studying about the principles of scientific management, we studied one of the principles that was functional foremanship. And as I explained you earlier, functional foremanship, that every individual should be controlled by 8 bosses, 4 for his planning and 4 for his production activities. This principle of management given by Fayol is contradictory to the principle of technique of functional foremanship given by F.W. Taylor. So please don't get confused. That was the technique given by F.W. Taylor, named as functional foremanship. This is unity of command. Orders should be given by a single boss. So as per this principle of Fayol, each participant in the formal organization should receive orders and be responsible to only one superior. Efficiency of the subordinate is adversely affected due to the presence of many superiors. If he is given orders by many different superiors, he may get confused and he may not be able to decide whose orders are to be followed. See, it is picturized in this form. This is the right approach that you are seeing. One leader and rest of the one boss, and rest are the subordinates, rest are the workers who are following his orders. On the other hand, look at the wrong approach. The person is getting confused, worker is getting confused, and so many bosses, 2 bosses are giving him orders. So whose orders to be followed, he will get confused. Therefore, orders should be given, control should be taken over of the worker by a single boss, as per this principle of unity of command. Now, what are the positive effects of following this principle of unity of command? It prevents confusion in the minds of subordinate. It prevents conflicts between the supervisors due to dual subordination, due to following the orders of multiple bosses. If a single boss is giving the orders, this will prevent a lot of confusion and dual subordination will not be there, multiple subordination would not be there. It creates harmonious relationship between the superiors and the subordinates, because now the boss is also clear whom the orders are to be given and subordinate is also clear whose order are to be followed. So there is a harmonious, good, positive relation between the superiors as well as the subordinates. Now, what are the consequences of its violation? Authority is undermined. It disturbs discipline. It creates confusion in the mind of subordinates if unity of command is not followed. Loyalty of the subordinates may also get divided. So, positive effects are also there. Consequences of violation are also there. Therefore, orders should be given by a single boss as per the unity of command. Now, what are the adverse effects? It may lead to delay in decision making. It may also delay in communication of orders and instructions, because now the subordinate is depending upon the single boss. I hope that both the principles of Fayol, that is the principle of discipline explained in this module and the principle of unity of command, both are clear to you. Thank you all. Rest of the principles we will do in the coming modules. Thank you all.